Welcome to episode 4 of the Learn to Wrap series, and congratulations. If you've made it this far, it's because you bought the vinyl for your car, you got all the tools you need to start wrapping, and you've actually disassembled your vehicle. So now we're done with all that boring stuff and we can finally start wrapping the car. The first panel we're gonna wrap on this vehicle is the hood, and I'm gonna explain why. I need to clarify because in a previous video, I said to start with the fender. Now that is only if you're a super new beginner. You've never touched vinyl before, you never wrapped anything before. I think someone like that should start with the fender because in my opinion, the fender is the easiest panel to wrap. In that video, I also said that once you've wrapped a couple cars and you're starting to get more experienced, you always want to work from the top down. To make that make sense, I should be starting with the roof. Well, why am I not starting with the roof? Because I'm an idiot. My initial plan was to wrap the roof black and then wrap the rest of the car in that nice rose gold. But after thinking about it and looking at it now, I'm gonna have rose gold all along here and on the hood. I'm gonna have black on the roof, and then I'm gonna have gray bumpers and gray trim on the side. I think that looks terrible. 3 different colors. I just don't think that'll look good at all. Well, Lucas, just use the rose gold that you ordered and start with the roof. But I can't because I'm an idiot and I didn't order enough to be able to do that. I thought I was gonna be able to do that in all black with black that I already have and save money. Stupid mistake. So now, but this is a good example of what you need to do or what you should do if you need to order extra vinyl. So looking at the vehicle, there is not gonna be enough vinyl to do the entire thing, which means I'm gonna have to get vinyl from a different roll to finish it. Now the question is, if this was you, where would you put that vinyl that's from the new roll? Do you put it on the hood? Do you put it on the fender? Do you put it on the doors, quarter panel, roof? Where are you gonna put it? Now keep in mind, the new roll might be a slightly different shade than the roll that you previously ordered. Again, this is an extreme scenario. The odds are it won't be, and even if it is, it won't be noticeable. But let's say it is noticeable. You don't want one door looking different than the door right beside it. That'll look weird and look like you messed up, even though you didn't. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna wait for that roll to come in, I'm gonna use it to do the roof, and then you will not be able to tell. Even if it is a different shade, you won't be able to tell because it's not sitting against any other rose gold. You'll only be able to tell that slight difference if it's right against a panel that's from a different roll. So I think that's a smart way to do it. Let me know what you would do if you were in this situation. I guess you could also kind of put it on the trunk. Oh no, you can't put it on the trunk because the quarter panel wraps around. So the roof is really the only place where it's not touching any other panel. Anyways, that's enough about my mistakes. Let's get this panel prepped for wrap. Even though we washed the car in the last episode, we have to go back and get all the areas that were covered by the parts we took off. Yes, these areas will be covered again, but it's critical that all the dirt is removed so the vinyl doesn't lift up. If you want a flawless finish, you'll need to sand, fill, and prime every stone chip. But we're not going to that extreme for this car. There's no need to rewash the entire car. A simple wipe with 70% isopropyl alcohol is perfect for removing any remaining grime. Once the worst areas are clean, I switch to a new microfiber towel and use it to clean the main surface of the panel, again with 70% isopropyl alcohol. Even if the panel looks clean, always give it a good wipe down because any contamination can ruin your wrap. The last step before wrapping, tape off any elevated surface to prevent the vinyl from sticking to it and making the install more difficult. The panel's all clean, we cut out our vinyl, it's laid 3 inches past the edge on each side like we always do. But as you can see, coming down here, there is a lot of extra. Look at all this, okay? Now the hood does go down to here, but it cuts in on an angle here. There's a headlight here. And all this is extra. And on this side, it's the same thing. If I lift this up, the headlight's under here, and the hood cuts like that. So all this is gonna make it much more difficult to actually wrap the car. So we should trim off that extra before we start wrapping. Let's do that. I'm not gonna make a drastic cut. Just a little bit. Goes to about there. So we'll just go like this. Just a little bit, but that'll make our life easier. And when we do the door handles, we have extra vinyl to do the door handles with. So come here, the headlight, or the hood, sorry, is about there. So again, I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm not trying to cut right next to the hood. I don't wanna mess that up. I'll just come down like this. Okay? Still a lot of extra, but it's making our life easier. I told you guys I was going to show you my mistakes, and this is where things went catastrophically wrong. When you're unrolling the vinyl, the backing paper should come off nice and smooth in one fluid motion. But for some reason, my backing paper was getting stuck. I later figured out it was stuck on the wiper arm, which is another reason not to have too much excess. But in the moment, I couldn't figure out why. I just assumed it was the tension in the vinyl, so I forced it, and look what happened. The vinyl started getting super crooked, and there were wrinkles everywhere. This was the moment where I started panicking internally because here I am trying to show how to rap, and I'm making a mess of it. But, like I also said before, the one upside to me making these mistakes is you get to see how to fix it. So if your vinyl is completely messed up like this, do not start squeegeeing. You have to glass out the vinyl first. It took me way longer than usual because of my bad starting point, but just read the wrinkles, take your time, and get that surface smooth before you start squeegeeing. You can see mine's not perfectly smooth, but I tried a quick test to see if those wrinkles would squeegee out. It seemed like they would, so that's what I started doing. Always work from the middle of the panel out and apply firm pressure to the squeegee. If you're too light, you can cause a wrinkle, which is next to impossible to remove in the middle of the hood. The air kept getting trapped, again, because of my poor starting point, so I frequently had to stop and slowly push it out with my glove. Definitely a headache, but still better than scrapping the vinyl and starting over. When you get to recesses or areas that curve inwards, I find it best to lay into these areas. This just means lifting the vinyl and squeegeeing it while it is relaxed, rather than heating the vinyl and pushing it down. At the front of the hood, we want to spread out this tension and relax the vinyl. That's the name of the game, always relax the vinyl. If I just heat this and pull it down, it will, number one, leave a nasty glue line, and number two, the vinyl will just shrink and pull back up. Never heat and pull towards the edge of a panel. You're guaranteed to have lifting if you do that. Heat the vinyl to relax it, not stretch it. Now, after everything is laid down, it's best to go back with your heat gun on a high setting and see if you overstretch the vinyl anywhere. You can see here that there's very minimal movement, so the vinyl is in good shape. If yours is pulling back or moving like crazy, it's a sign that you've stretched the vinyl too much. Finally, we can start laying into the areas around the grill and finish up the hood. I had to take 5 minutes after that absolutely shameful attempt to unroll the vinyl. But the good news is, when you do it, there is no way it is going to be as bad as what I just did. However, despite that, might actually give you some hope because it actually doesn't even look bad now. So as bad as our starting point was, the hood actually looks pretty good. We just got to cut it out now, obviously. But the finish is still good. Still really good, actually. I wonder if I could focus. There we go. Still looks really good. The worst part is these stone chips and rust spots. They are all over, and look how much they stand out. So if you want a perfect finish, you're going to have to do bodywork because this vinyl, I mean, as I say in every video, it does not hide anything. Well, at least I can show you how to cut out the vinyl. So we're going to take our blade, open it up, put our blade on the opposing panel, which is in this case is the fender. I'm going to rest my blade against the side of the fender. So this side of the blade is resting against the fender like this. Then I'm just going to follow that, put in there like there, and just follow that all the way and stop just short of the corner. Just go, 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 go. Keep going. Coming up to the corner, and then I'm just going to curl off before I get to the actual corner. We can continue this down, but because the hood's lifting up, this line is not going to be straight anymore, so we're going to have to lift the hood to finish cutting this nicely. So that's okay. We can just get rid of this excess. Okay, there we go. Let's go up here now. So I want to get rid of all this excess too. I'm just going to make sure you don't cut the wipers, but the hood ends, pretty confident ends right there. So we'll cut here, give ourselves some extra. Line. Got a nice sharp blade so everything's cutting. And then we're going to curl away from the corner. Get rid of all this excess. Okay, good. Now I'm just going to heat this vinyl to make sure there's no tension in it. Doesn't look like there's any, which is not surprising because there's really no stretch here. Stretch out the corner. Now I'll see if I can show you. But what you're going to do is you're just going to run or roll this vinyl around the edge. And I'm kind of hooking my thumb around. So the vinyl is actually, I'm pressing it down on the back side. So the underneath, I'm pressing it down just a little bit, just right past the edge. And again, I'm going to stop just short of the corner. So we'll do that on the whole hood. You really want to make sure you roll it first because you don't want a wrinkle or any air trapped on the edge. So again, same thing. I'm rolling it down, roll it down, roll it down. It's obviously much easier to do this with your hand. Roll it down, roll it down. And then now I'm pressing it underneath again. I'm hooking it underneath. Okay, easy. So now I can get my blade, and because it's hooked underneath, I don't have to worry about cutting it short. Typically what I do is I take the yellow plastic part as my guide, and that's resting on the back while the blade cuts the vinyl. So see how it's resting like that? And then my blade goes through and I can start cutting. Stopping short of the corner again. Now that that's cut out all nicely, this is the most important part and really separates you from other wrappers when they see the quality of your corners. So you're going to take your vinyl and we're going to add a little bit of heat here. Just going to heat up the vinyl a tiny bit. Then I'm going to like pull it apart, stretch it, and hook it under the corner. Okay. Just a little bit. You can use a tool to help you because I can't get my finger in there. So just use a tool, just a tiny bit of help there. There we go. So I have the vinyl hooked under. The vinyl is underneath the corner, see? The vinyl's underneath the bottom of that corner. Now when we heat it, watch what happens. I hit it with some heat and it shrinks, it pulls back. But because it's underneath, it's pulling under the corner. So that is not gonna peel. It's just not gonna peel up. It's like not possible. So now, just double check that part. Yeah, that's good. You get your knife and you cut right where you tucked it. See right under here? You're just gonna put the blade there and cut it like that. Nice. And then this side, you do the same thing. Cut right under. There you go. And then you have a really, really nice corner. Super, super clean. So obviously you have to tuck that and tuck that, but the corner is beautiful and that's gonna last forever. Exact same process when you get to these corners, heat it up. Just a little bit, just a kiss of heat. Stretch it out and around like that. Hook it under. That. Take out my tuck tool again. This one's hooked under. I get that point right there. There we go. So now that we got that, we take the heat again, shrink it back, shrinks underneath. Then you get your blade, then you just cut right where it shrunk, like that. And now I'm just gonna cut down because I gotta fix these areas here. Then, so you have that, you can roll your vinyl underneath. And beautiful, no wrinkles at all. That looks really, really good. And if every corner looks like that, people won't even be able to tell your car's wrapped. I continued with this process on every single corner of the hood, no exceptions. Once I finished with the corners, I trimmed out the grille. This involved cutting on the paint, but to make sure you don't actually cut the paint, you need to follow two things. Number one, get a sharp blade, and number two, apply zero pressure when you're cutting. You're literally just dragging your blade along the vinyl to score it. You're not pressing down to cut it. Then, the vinyl will separate when you pull it apart, and just like that, you cut on the paint without damaging anything. Finish up with a post heat, and congratulations, you've wrapped your first panel. This is the final result, and I'm really happy with it. The satin on this vinyl has a really, really nice sheen. And look at that. Oh, there's a dent right there. You can see in the light. But it looks super clean. Look at the install around the windshield washer sprayers. Super clean because we removed it. Remember what I said? It's way easier to remove things than to try and wrap around them. The corners here look really good. Overall, I'm very satisfied, and seeing it now makes me happier that the roof is not going to be black. I'm really happy that that's going to be rose gold too. That's it. And again, I apologize for messing up how to unroll the vinyl. I really wish I showed that properly, but you know, it happens. You know, I'm just trying to be real with you guys. I made a mistake, I messed up, and I apologize. Hopefully, if you see that, you'll know that if you mess up when you're wrapping your car, you don't have to throw out the vinyl. You can keep going, and it actually can come out pretty good. So I guess that's a good thing. But stay tuned for the next episode where we continue wrapping this car. We're going to wrap another panel, and this time we hopefully do it with no mistakes. So as always, thanks for watching.